Although in the church's calendar, it's next weekend, the Feast of the Baptism of the Lord, that brings to a close the Christmas season, this Feast of the Epiphany, if you would, serves as a bookend, along with the beginning Sunday of Advent, of the bookend of the infant Jesus. And so if you recall, in December, at Advent, I was talking a lot about dreams that appeared in the stories. And the challenge invitation was that people help to bring their dreams become real. They put them into practice. In a way, these readings this weekend are also filled with dreams. We'll talk a little bit about them, 3 of them in particular. Dream number 1. That first dream is what Greg proclaimed from the prophet Isaiah. Again, a new vision of what Jerusalem would look like after the exile. That it would become an unbelievable city. So unbelievable that the word they use, it's radiant. And not only would its light shine elsewhere, it was almost magnetic. And that it also drew people to it. And all that it would represent as a vision of peace. As that was part of the dream to do that. And so, if you think about that radiant light, if you just added bold witness, then we got our parish branding name. But the question and the challenge for us is, what must I do, what must you do to help your parish, our parish, your church, your neighborhood, and or your world become a radiant light? What are the things that must be done, or what's an attitude of being we must have so that it truly could say that about Mary, Mother of the Church, or whatever group or neighborhood you're a part of? And am I ready to do that? Commit to being a radiant light. One of the focus of the Epiphany celebration has always been the 3 gifts that the Magi brought to Jesus of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. All refer to his future ministry in his person. Gold in his kingship, his leadership. Also, the myrrh is a burial ointment for his future sacrifice and burial. And the frankincense is the priestly office that he will have. Those are the gifts of who Jesus was. I also think the myrrh, though a burial perfume, I think it also reminds us of his prophetic voice. Think about that opening lines from Luke's Gospel. The Spirit of God is upon me, therefore God has anointed me to bring glad tidings to the poor. And so those gifts, as symbolic as they are, I think also remind us of the gifts that you and I have to be and make this a radiant place. What is the gift that I can do, or what is the gift I can be to make that happen? It's the gift that I give of myself that will help establish the reign of God. The second dream, if you noticed, like last week with Joseph, the Magi at the end of the story have a dream experience of not returning to Herod. Herod is certainly a troubled man, and he's threatened by the birth of an infant. And so they listen and they go a different way to go back home. Last week we heard that Joseph, in a dream, heard the angel say, leave this area, Bethlehem, and go to Egypt. And when it was safe, he invited them to return. But also Herod's son was now in charge, just as bad as Herod, so go to Nazareth. I think it's a reminder for us in our dreams, but our God who's willing to protect us. And how does God do that? We need to be attuned to the voice of God. We need to be attuned to the angels that come to meet us. And then we also, in our dreams, am I and are you willing to be that protection for someone else. The old phrase, I got your back. Am I ready to do that for one another? This is what we're called to do. There's a tradition in the church that on this day of Epiphany, there's a proclamation sung which announces the upcoming dates on the liturgical year. It was certainly before there was Google Calendar. And so it always would tell you what was coming ahead. And rather than just that, perhaps today it's simply a reminder of this coming year for us to be a radiant light and to be a bold witness. What must I do? How can I be? And allow that to take place wherever I'm a part of.